Hey, and welcome to MLR Weekly. Matt McCarthy in New York City. We have a great show, including Sam Golla, formerly of the Dallas Jackals. We'll see where he's going. We have Steve Duma Johnson of a potential Tampa MLR group. And we also have Rugby Morning's Coffee Break with John Fitzpatrick. Rugby Wrap-Ups MLR Weekly brought to you by Sheehy Auto Stores. It's easy at Sheehy. The Pig and Whistle, New York City. The world's best rugby pub. And Lean and Limber, stretching your way to a healthier lifestyle. Let's begin with our recurring segment, Rugby Morning's Coffee Break with John Fitzpatrick, calling in from the nation's capital, District of Columbians, Washington, D.C. John, how are you? What news, John?
Well, hold on, Matt. I've got a text message here from Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso. Are you available on Friday to golf?
I am. And you know what? We got a lot to talk about, a lot of great baseball to talk about, not like the Nationals or the Orioles, who have been home for a long time. Second best team in baseball, the New York Mets. Next.
Anyway, moving on. Speaking of New England, how about the New England Free Jacks? They've announced that they've brought back essentially the core of their team. You've got Van Conradi coming back, Rue Milan coming back, Ben Lesage, and also Jed Melvin. So the two-time MLR defending champs reloading, going for that three-peat. Shout out Pat Riley.
That's easy for you to say, but also add Geronimo Gomez-Vara into the mix. Mitch Jacobson will not be back, as far as we know, at this juncture. Possible later in the season. Next.
Hey, how about the Miami Sharks? They're bringing back USA capped Eagle Ben Bonasso. I like Ben. Great guy.
I saw that on social media all across the Googles and the Twitters and the X's and the Grams and the chats. Good to see Ben back with his folks, the Argentinians, in Miami. Next.
Hey, let's close out with the Chicago Hounds. They're bringing back Lucas. Let's get ready to rumble. I'm sure he's never heard that. He's coming back, as is Michael Hand, too, who you may recall last year was loaned out to Miami. He's coming back. He's an exciting young prospect. Got some domestic eligibility, too, so maybe we'll see him later.
Yes, it's good to see Chicago retaining and adding, and I hope to see Lucas Rumble grow the hair back. He's just, to me, he's not the same without. Next.
Hey, Matt, there's two things I want to bring up. One, how about PR7s? They're coming back. They made an announcement. They're going to have an all-star tournament featuring USA Women's Eagles, the USA Men's Eagles. It's going to be taking place in Portland the week before the 2024 HSBC 7 Series kicks off in Dubai. So pretty cool to see PR7s coming back.
Yep, good to see. I love, any rugby is good rugby, and anything on the professional level, maybe get a player a couple of dollars, a few shekels here and there. It's a good thing. Next.
Matt, did you see the Rugby World Cup 2025 put out the match schedule? Guess who's going to be in the opener at what was once called Twickenham Stadium? That's right, the USA Women's Eagles. They're taking on the Red Roses in the opener. There's going to be 60,000 plus at this match. It's going to be electric.
Friday Night Lights to open. Mother England versus the Rebel Child. I think we're going to slaughter them. Go Team USA, ABC, ABE, anybody but England. Next.
Matt, last thing here. I always hear you're looking for a good rugby job. Some of those are kind of hard to come by, but Major League Rugby is looking for a chief commercial officer. You certainly know how to run a business into a ground. So, Matt, you can put your...
Makes me abundantly qualified, doesn't it? The bazing! You got me and USA Rugby with the same... Wow, you're good. You're good. But nothing.
No, that was a shot at you. That was not a shot at USA Rugby.
Oh, really? Really? Because... Really? That was absolutely... I ask fans, please, tell us whether you think that was a shot at USA Rugby and yours truly at the same time. Anything else?
No, Matt, just can I get back to Francisco Lindor since you're not doing anything on Friday since the Mets aren't in the World Series? You want to golf?
Anything else?
Yeah, just make sure you don't wear that jacket when we go golfing on Friday.
Hey, listen. What happened to fun with patterns? I just want to bring pattern fun back. Is that so wrong?
It's a little hair-raising. Not that you would know.
Oh, On that note, thank you to John Fitzpatrick of Rugby Morning. Let's take a break and bring in Sam Golla, formerly of the Dallas Jackals, the now defunct Dallas Jackals. And now he's with, you'll have to wait and see. We'll be right back.
Uptown girl, living in a right world.
Digs like a demented mole there.
Need a great price on a new vehicle? Sheehy makes it easy. Easy Price shows you our lowest prices on the Mid-Atlantic's largest selection. Find your best price online or at any of our 31 dealerships.
It's easy at Sheehy. Sheehy.com.
You need your cleats? You need them tomorrow? If you order today by 3 p.m. New York time or noon LA time, they can have them to you tomorrow. Young, old, male, female, if you're playing on turf, if you're playing on grass, if you're playing in the rain, you're playing in the heat, they've got you covered. RugbyNow.com. Go there now. And we're back, and we're happy to welcome back to MLR Weekly Mr. Sam Golla, holla for Golla, who is formerly of the Dallas Jackals. Sam, welcome back to MLR Weekly.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, so Sam, you're still in Dallas, right? And you're interrupting your training regimen to come on with us, which we really appreciate. When are you leaving Dallas? Because I don't know if you caught the news. The Jackals are out of business.
I definitely caught the news. I was in the midst of it. I'll leave around November.
The cat's kind of out of the bag as per the USA Rugby website, which we talked about last week, that you're not going to where there were rumors circulating of San Diego to join the Legion, but instead you're going to Charlotte to join the Anthem. A couple of questions come to mind. You know, when we spoke in the interview the first time you were on the program, we were talking about how you were the number one pick in the 2022 draft, and you were picked by a team, and you knew you were going to be up against it, and you came from a perennial winner in Cal, and then you were on the Jackals, and they were 0-16, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then you saw a turnaround, a remarkable turnaround, including last season. So how does it how do you put it into words after the season you guys had that it's no longer a team?
It's disappointing. You know, it's none of the players' faults. I'll say that. None of it is on the players. And I made that very clear to all the guys, and all the guys know. So, you know, it's none of our fault. None of us think that it's our fault, and it's not. We did a great job. We did our jobs to, you know, give the fans and give the league a good brand of rugby. I think Puka did a fantastic job of coaching us and, you know, producing a fantastic team. The turnaround that he produced from an 0-16 team in 2 years, you know, it's exceptional work.
Amazing.
So, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, talk down on anyone in management or any of the owners or how anything went down. All I will say is that the players did their part in making a fantastic team and creating that organization to what it was. And, you know, I'm sad to see it go. I love Texas. It was never my intention to leave, but I was forced to. And so now we're here.
I appreciate you. You know, you're not going to, you don't want to, you know, insult anybody or anything, but I'm looking at the social media output from the Dallas Jackals, and they participated in the 2024 draft. Again, the Jackals screwing up the MLR draft, because the first season that they were coming in, then they pushed off to another season after they participated in the draft. Connor Mooneyham was the first ever draft choice, and then he had to go to a different team because the Jackals dropped out after the draft. So again, we have a repeat. And the last post they have is on 9/11, never forget, right? In September. So up until that point, you probably thought the team was still in existence.
No, I knew a very long time ago.
So
that's the thing. So
during the last season?
I knew very early. And I made it clear to my teammates as well. I knew the team was going through problems. Again, here's the thing. It's all the owners meet within each other's teams, and they do who knows what. They talk about finances. They talk about who's doing well, who's doing bad, who's making payments, who's not. Okay. And it comes from a collection of all teams together and other owners who tell their players that the Dallas organization is not doing well.
Right.
When that happens, okay, this is where we need confidentiality in that aspect, because these owners from all other teams are telling their players, hey, Dallas is going down. I want you to go talk to some of those Dallas guys, see what they're doing next year. Okay. They put the cat in our bag as players before the owners do. So then we know, and we're like, why are people asking us about this? That's when I took initiative. I also am part of the union here for Dallas as well. Go to the union guys, go to the owners myself, and try and get some answers. Here's the thing. When they're trying to save the team, because I know there are people in the organization that are trying to save the team actively, they also then have to deal with the fact that, hey, now we need to be transparent with these players. Then boom, now these players want answers that the owners can't give. And now it just puts so much pressure on the owners and the organization to save the team. And then now all the other teams are like, oh, we want these players. We want to release a schedule. We need to get our flights. It puts it such into a time crunch for Dallas that they just have to dissolve. They literally won't be able to make the timelines because the amount of pressure that every other owner in the league put on them just made it dissolve instantly and like way faster than it should have. Yes. Did the owners do a lot wrong in communicating to us? Absolutely. All right. I understand. But no, I'm not the one losing hundreds and hundreds, if not millions of dollars on an organization.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand it from that aspect, and I want them to have the time and space they need to solve that. But if we find out from other players, it's not our fault. And then again, we are also owed answers, and we're owed certain things in that regard. So, I think in total, the way teams and the confidentiality of the situation of teams needs to be so much more professional.
Yeah.
Like from the top, from the very top. I had my say to, people in the league about that, and hopefully things will change, because again, with the new league, this will happen again. Teams are going to be put into a financial crunch. That's the nature of the game. And it just needs to be better all around, not just from Dallas, from every other team and every other owner and every other organization, period. For the sake of the players, at least.
Hey, Sam, we got to take a quick break. So we'll be right back with Mr. Sam Golla after this.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street.
So what was the timeline for you really knowing that the team wasn't going to be in existence? Was it during the regular season, or was it during the playoffs? Was it while you were on international duty with Team USA?
I heard whispers June.
Wow.
And then I heard right around our playoff game against Houston. And then from there's some other very obvious things that happened that I'm not going to get into this. Which then led me to really dive deep and then make sure all the players are on board and everything. So I'm not going to really get into that, but yeah, I kind of heard around, June, July.
Well, we knew, when I say we, us in the media world knew basically that they missed their last capital call, and that you guys had been allowed to play in the playoffs despite missing that capital call, and it was still never made. And that was like $500K. So that's a big chunk of money. What's remarkable to me is the way you guys held it together and actually thrived and performed so well, knocking off Houston. So you guys all knew or had a feeling already when you played that match?
I think no. I think the majority of people didn't know until August came around. I know guys heard after the Houston game. And then again, there was trouble with some payments and ancillary stuff that again I'm not going to get into. And
ancillary could be rent, it could be travel,
it could be anything. Kind of thing. It could be anything. And then again, as time went on, it kind of just became more apparent. And we really did. All the guys wanted them to save the team. Obviously, that was the priority there. But we have lives to live, stuff like that. So. It kind of just became this thing where it was like a cat and mouse. We need answers now, or else we have to leave. This and that and this and that. But no, all credit to the boys. I wasn't in those games, but Hedo did a great job of leading them in those times. That was incredibly stressful. Same with Kuka. I think
That's right. You were banged up, right?
I was banged up, yeah, and they did a fantastic job of kind of just keeping the focus at winning these games.
Remarkable.
And they did. My hat is tipped off to them. I mean, that takes a lot of I praise them a lot for that.
All right, let's talk about the positives now. You're going to Charlotte, and I'm looking at this, and I'm on paper. I'm like, the guy went to was part of an 0-16 team. Now he's somewhat of a free agent, and you're going to another 0-16 team under your own volition.
I mean, it's a lot of it is Team USA. I mean, I like the mission that Anthem has towards the 2027 World Cup. I'll be with the USA coaches and doctors and strength and conditioning for that time up until then. Look, I love the MLR, but my international games mean more to me. They do. Plain and simple. And so being in that environment for that long, to get to those goals, to grow rugby in the United States, we have to perform better at an international level. And so that's kind of when I made that step. There's a couple other reasons why, I like
country first.
No, I mean, there was country first. And then, I think California my family's there. I know a lot of people there. I think it was a comfortable option for me. I think if I went there, I'd be, my family's close by. If I had a bad week, I could just, go run to mom and dad.
Right.
And I think just, being in a new state that I'm not familiar with, is good for me. I like it. It's something I do a lot, is kind of just put myself into a new situation. And again, San Diego would be a new situation, but I think it was the bigger move for me to go. I'm not worried at all about Charlotte being 0-16, by no means. It doesn't matter to me at all. I think we're going to be fantastic. We're going to win. We're going to win games. We're going to do great. We're going to bust teams up. I know we're going to do great.
Well, if anybody knows how to help with that process of coming from an 0-16 team to a better team, it's you. I mean,
there's other factors, but again, I think we're going to be great. There's not a single doubt in my mind. Again, will we come off the gates as the best team in the league? I don't know, but I know that with the coaches there that I've had experience with, and with some more experience coming in this year, there's not a doubt in my mind that we'll win games and we'll produce a great brand of rugby. And, I'm not even thinking about the 0-16 record. It's meaningless to me.
Let me play the devil's advocate for a second and ask you this question. Do you think the Eagles will get better if the players are playing together on one team, or if they're playing as it was, them spread out with different MLR teams and maybe experiencing professional players from overseas and getting that culture? What's your take on that?
I think, it's great bringing in professional players overseas. They bring a sense of the game that, again, Americans don't know. Rugby here, you can't play at a very early age. I also think Americans need to take the step forward and stop caring about international players coming here. Just get over it. Get over it, literally. Just play an American brand of rugby. Hard nose, we have good coaches, we have good standards. Let's grow the game at an international level. And, if you want to continue to just praise internationals for coming over here, by all means do that. But
you're getting me fired up here. You're getting me fired. I'm ready to go to Carolina myself.
Again, I don't care. I literally don't care if you have, all the best internationals in the world. I'm happy to be playing with domestics. Again, the goal is, build a brand of USA rugby that's going to perform at, a high level at the international level. Scott has a fantastic plan up until 31. The boys are going to follow that plan. But again, bring internationals in or not, again, it doesn't matter to me. I've played against great internationals that were fantastic, and I've played against internationals that I thought were great that weren't good at all. So, it's
right.
It really is just, just forget it. Just own the fact that, rugby in the United States is getting better and buy into it. That's how I feel.
You just completely sold me. I'm listening to you. I'm like, all right, why is he wasting his time with rugby? You got to run for president. Get you in the office, man. You got me all. I'm inspired here. I'd run through the. I'll play for you guys. Not that you want me, but wow. All right, Sam. You rocked this interview, Sam. Absolutely rocked the interview, Sam. You were on my top list of players in the league, right? But you're now at the top of the list because this interview, you were absolutely great. You rocked it. You were passionate, and I really appreciate you taking the time and giving us your honest opinion on some key things here in the league.
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
All right, Sam, we'll get you on sooner than later now, because I think we got to get more out of you. Mr. Sam Golla, thank you. We'll be right back after this.
I wouldn't like to be at the bottom of that.
Hey, U.S. fans, you can tune into every match live on Flow Rugby. How do we know that? Because we're on there all the time. This is the Rugby Odds, where an unlikely pundit panel of a wordsmith, a WWE legend, a rugby star, and a supermodel scour the globe, seeking best bets and bad behavior. Are you not entertained? And we are back welcoming for the first time on the program, Mr. Stephen Duma Johnson, a right honorable Vandal. Stephen, welcome to MLR Weekly.
Hey, brother Matt. Good to see you, my friend. It's been a bit.
It has been. It has been. And Stephen, just so the folks at home who are asking why the you're on this show, it's not because of our shared excellence on the pitch where we starred for the Vandals, but it's because you're allegedly part of this circulating rumor about a team putting its roots down in Tampa.
Yeah, Matt. So we do have a great interest in Tampa. It's a very cool environment. It's got a good vibe. We've checked out the local youth scene. We worked with the local men's program and women's programs, top tier outfits. We've been down there a couple of times. I attended Tropical Sevens. There is definitely a need and a group that can support us down there. So we have reached out. We do have some investors, and we have a lot of interest. And we have a great team coming together to back us down in Tampa, St. Pete's area. Can't leave out St. Pete's.
Okay, I'm a little bit confused because you're in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. You are as ingrained and as important as any individual in all things rugby in the D.C. area. How the Sam Hill did you end up poking around Tampa?
Hey, really crazy story. My neighbor moved down, and he is right down in Tampa, just north of Tampa. We were chatting, ex-rugby player out of Utah, and we used to play for the same team, the Denver Highlanders. And love for rugby. He moved down there.
Did you say the Denver Highlanders?
The Denver Highlanders, my old club.
But how else would it happen, right? How else? Tampa, Denver, DC.
You know, it's the circle of trust, man. We love each other. We all hang out together, and you know, the stars align, and we love it down there. He loves it down there. It's besides this week of hurricanes, it was perfect for like 300 days out of the year. So I've been down there.
There's a hurricane or two.
Yeah. So we might have to change our name to Hurricanes, but we're not, because we got a great brand right now. Can't mention it yet. Still working on it. But I just got off the phone with the Florida Selects leader down there, and he's excited for us to come down there and help build a pathway from D1 to the pros, help reach out to local colleges, get more numbers in the game, and build from the grassroots up. So we're pretty excited what they have down there. I'm going down in again real soon for another combine. Can't mention when it's going to be, but we're going to work with Tampa. The whole state of Florida will be working with us to create a select side and a pathway to MLR if we get this sorted out real soon. So we're pushing, Matt. We got a lot of feet in the ground. We're excited, very excited about what we're doing down there.
I'm getting excited. I'm getting goosebumps over here. All right, so I know you can't talk about it, but we're talking about it. So let's continue talking about it.
Sure.
You got a stadium. You got grounds.
Let's just say we've looked at 3 different stadiums. Couple had past experience hosting sevens, and we do have some folks that we're working with real close to the water. We got some good buy-in, some good interest.
I know. I was down there for Halloween sevens with Karen Bizzano, who was rumored to be in your troop of people putting this together, and it was at a soccer stadium that seems like it could work. That was the home of the Crew. Is that right?
The Crew is a Tampa-based team. The team that's based there for soccer, I can't pull off the top of my head, but
the Pelicans.
Pelicans are the St. Pete's. That's St. Pete's.
St. Pete's Pelicans.
The Crew is Tampa, but you're all over. You got the names right. But remember, the women are also the number 1 D2 team. So there's a lot of good rugby coming out of Tampa. A lot of good rugby.
What do we got in terms of this combine going on? Because it's a weird coincidence that you're conducting a combine trying to find MLR talent.
Yeah, so I work on the board of HBCU, RS Rugby Foundation, and our mission statement is to grow the game in historically Black colleges and universities. So we decided how else to do it, get the guys out there for a combine. I just happen to know some very good coaches that are willing to come down. Steve Lewis, one of the best sevens coaches in the world, will be on attendance. Nate Osborne's going to come down and join us, and then we are in talks with the old Raptor head coach, also the WL winning coach this year, might make a presence. And we have 2 Charlotte Anthems coming down to say hello. And I'm flying in a guy from New York to come down and do some walking around and say hi. I'm not sure who that is.
Is he wearing white after Labor Day?
He better be. So, yes. So we got you coming down as well. We got a host of local talent already coming in from the 3 or 4 local Atlanta school HBCUs, and we're reaching out to some Florida schools as well. The combine goal is to grow the game, and we want to pick a sevens team, 1 or 2, to attend the Florida Tropical Sevens in March. So the combine will be in Atlanta. We're going to be using Silverback Stadium, which is the previous home of Atlanta Pro ATL, and we'll be going from 3 to 7, and reach out to combine at rsrugbyfoundation.org.
And on that note, Stephen, we are out of time. So I want to thank Stephen Duma Johnson, the Right Honorable Vandal of the Tampa Group. Also want to thank Sam Golla of the Dallas Jackals, and of course, John Fitzpatrick of Rugby Morning, and thank you for tuning in. Please check out our other shows, including the critically acclaimed The Rugby Odds. You don't want to miss it. Also, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Tell your friends about us. Sign up for our weekly newsletter, and please join our American Red Cross blood donor team.